Up. I'm up. I'm up. Yes, man. I'm up. Yeah, man. Lonesome. I'm up. All right. I'm. The opposition spokesman supposed to log in right now. Yeah, Mikael Phillips. Yes. Because we have some long discussion today. You know. Yeah, man. We have some meaningful discussion because Jamaica can't run so like this, right? Yeah, man. It can't stay like this. So. Because ask a question now, and because we want to talk to the opposition spokesperson, yeah, for transport and works, and yeah, I mean them to table something in a parliament because the victimization and all these things need to stop. All right, so Michael supposed to come in a minute now. See if them have any little problem, I can just find out that. But in the meantime, I can show you where them thing here come from right just now, right? All right, watch this.
What am I waiting on? You finished writing the summons? So what, you're waiting on somebody from down the transport authority?
Why are you at the bus? I don't have the papers.
So who have my papers? Who have my car papers? Who have my car papers?
What are you talking about?
Big man, are you have my car paper then? Morning, are you have the car papers then? Miss, you have my car documents? So nobody in our bus have my car documents then? How long am I going to be waiting on the car papers?
Someone's already prepared for you, son. You're some patient.
From where? Here or transport authority? Who is in charge here, please? You are the one that's in charge? Give me car paper, please. Can I please have my car paper if I can't know why you guys are holding on the car paper so long? I'm waiting on the summons from who? Any of you guys in the bus going to write me the summons? Are you in charge, sir? Are you the one that's in charge? Can you please point me to who is in charge, sir? Please.
I don't even know. I just take the bus from it.
Sir, are you the one that's in charge? Miss, you're the one who is in charge? Excuse me, you're the one that's in charge? You know, don't even have one badge so people can identify on the name or anything like that. Young lady, you're the one that's in charge? Jamaica, so it's still one bus of people don't touch me. One bus of people and then have my car paper and then can't tell me who have my car paper. One bus of people, then have my car papers and nobody is in charge in the whole bus. See that? See that?
Whoa. Whoa. No, if this not rude, something wrong. If this not rude, where you call this man? Waiting on Mikel, he might try log on, yeah? He might try log on right now. But me have to really play back this. Because we're a dissect, I have to play it back to him too, you know. You understand? Because I play victimization, all kind of things are going right there, so. Jamaica can't run like this. You take out some paper, you charge somebody for something, you charge them and thing, but you can't deal with them like this, man, on this level. It's wrong. I have to play it back. Hold on. I have to play it back.
This is not right who is to stand up for citizen of this country.
I've been waiting here for a couple minutes now. What am I waiting on? You finished writing the summons? So what, you're waiting on somebody from down the Transport Authority?
Why are you at the bus? I don't have the papers.
So who have my papers? Who have my car papers? Who have my car papers?
What are you talking about?
Big man, are you have my car paper then? Morning, are you have the car papers then?
Yeah, welcome. Michael Phillips. How you doing?
That's having me. How you doing?
I'm good. Just playing the first thing, because a lot of people want some question. They might ask some question, but they want answer to. The nepotism and cronism that going on in Transport Authority. And you are the spokesperson, so we're gonna play a clip for you. Make you see. The first thing we're gonna do is play a clip for you, right? Watch this clip. Hold on.
Miss, you have my car documents? So nobody in our bus have my car documents then? How long am I going to be waiting on the car papers?
Someone's already prepared for you, son. Your son patient.
From where? Here or Transport Authority? Who is in charge here, please? You are the one that's in charge? Give me car paper, please. Can I please have my car paper if I can't know why you guys are holding on the car paper so long? I'm waiting on the summons from who? Any of you guys in the bus going to write me the summons? Are you in charge, sir? Are you the one that's in charge? Can you please point me to who is in charge, sir? Please.
I don't even know. I just take the bus from it.
Sir, are you the one that's in charge? Miss, you're the one who is in charge? Excuse me, you're the one that's in charge? You know, don't even have one badge so people can identify on the name or anything like that. Young lady, you're the one that's in charge? Jamaica says still. One bus of people don't touch me. One bus of people and then have my car paper and then can't tell me who have my car paper. One bus of people, then have my car papers and nobody is in charge in the whole bus. See that? See that?
All right, so that alone show we have completely. Show off the whole of Jamaica completely, right? And then the minister from them see this, and who run it, the managing director. I get to understand on the 10th of this, the 14th of this month, them keep a meeting with these same people. And I put out this because that is total disrespect to the public, to a motorist. And them go and criticize me. Say I'm biased and I'm an idiot and all kind of things. You know, you hear about these things. The country cannot run like this. It cannot run like this. You need to table something against these kind of people. You understand? So what's your take on this? Because it really shows we have.
Oh, well, I've been saying for quite a while that it is our firm belief as an opposition, as a person that has responsibility for transport, that the Transport Authority should not be the regulator, the overall overseer of the public transport sector, and the enforcer at the same time. It is contradictory to its role, right? And that the enforcement should be left up to the police, if not just like you have in New York City and you have in other municipalities where you have metro police that deal with parking, deal with public transport and things like that. But you can't have the regulator at the same time being the enforcer, looking at revenues, because their responsibility is to how to govern and to regulate the public transport sector, to do research, to see where it is that there's a need. Where is it that they're falling short? And they're falling short as it is right now. So the enforcement has become one where they come with a what I would say a heavy hand in trying to regulate the system in something that is already broken, and that cannot work. Eh? When I saw that video, then, and in many instances, because I'm firmly of the belief that this administration, headed by Prime Minister Andrew Holness, has no interest in public transport. Not one single interest in public transport. And no disrespect to the ministers that have passed through that Ministry of Transport, but they have not shown any vision for the sector itself. They have not shown any care for the sector itself. Because when you see one instance, let us use for an example, Brother Wayne, let us use that for an example, even the COVID grants that they have been issuing to the transport sector. The ministry, when the Ministry of Transport came to the PAAC, we asked them how many individuals in the sector got the original grant, the first grant. They couldn't say. We asked them how many individuals getting this $25,000. They couldn't say. They said it is Ministry of Finance that is dealing with it. And we had to say to the permanent secretary, but isn't the public transport sector the interest of the Ministry of Transport? That even if it is the Ministry of Finance that is administering it, it should be the interest of the Ministry of Transport to find out who getting, why them not getting, and how them get, if them get. So it shows a disconnect between the administration and actual public transport, and that is why it is in the shambles state that it is right now. From the JUTC to the route taxes to the Hackney carriage to what you're seeing in the video that you have shown us just a while ago.
Okay, and the next thing now, you have a lot of people at the Transport Authority complaining about the nepotism, cronyism, and victimization, because anybody don't stand up with the managing director, either you get fired, you get transferred, and then family member coming in, and money being using, and all kind of things in shambles. We need that place need an audit from outside body.
Yeah. So yesterday, it was on today's on a few days, 2 days ago.
Yes.
I had released a statement because you see, let me tell you again. As I said, the Transport Authority has a key role to play in the transport sector. So one aspect of it is the commercial license, right? Mm-hmm. Those companies that haul goods and commercial vehicles, commercial activity. That's a large portion of the revenue of the Transport Authority, and also a section that they administer and govern. Then you have the public transport sector. The credibility of an institution as a Transport Authority has to be held intact. If it is that there is corruption, then it ought to be dealt with, because the transport sector in moving people is a critical part of our economy, of the country's GDP. And as I said before, if you don't pay keen attention to the transport, not just public transport, transport overall, is about 30% of your GDP. Yeah? So yeah. It is a critical sector in your economy. Now, my call was for the Auditor General, which I understand that the Auditor General has been in the Transport Authority doing an audit. I would ask for her to extend it not only to a performance audit, but an audit on the licensing, right? Yes. Granting of license, yes. Right? Be it rural, be it urban in the KMTR. But just because we have to remember, that when Minister Montague was there, he had opened up the system, which added about another 4,000 licenses in the system, right? But we don't know if in some of these routes that they actually need license, or is it that they're just issuing them, selling them? We don't know, yeah? So there needs to be an audit on the issuing of the permits. On the general issues that yourself and others have highlighted, we have asked the Integrity Commission to step in and to give an account for what is happening at the Transport Authority. From the top to the bottom, if there is nepotism, if there's cronyism, if there's corruption, then they should be brought to book. For too long, we have been hearing anecdotal stories coming out of the Transport Authority. Time come now that we need to clean it up, because it is a sector that is too critical to the economy of Jamaica. So just remember, remember we start off that when the buses were bought by the previous administration, that they were given to CMU. We don't even know if they even received a cent for any of those buses. We have seen license, because I would say from 2016, there were 2,000 Hackney carriage license in the KMTR. You have over 5,000 now. Right? Yes. So there needs to be a comprehensive audit on what is happening there. And those who are guilty, brought to book. And we're going to be firm on that, because we're not going to let it go.
You need to, because what happened is, few days ago, I called there because I get something going on, some irregularities. And I called there and someone offered me, I want, because I'm telling me to call this number. And I called the number, I will pay it for you. And them offering me license for 600,000. 600 are still up, because, all right, when the Auditor General go in, they're going to see the money that the government supposed to get. But who charging this other additional 600,000? Who sign off on it? Because inside sources telling me where it's coming from. I talk to that person and tell them, and them tell me them can tell them I have two buses, and them tell me them can move 50,000. So 550,000 each, right? And I record it, I play it. And then yesterday when I called the Transport Authority, them don't have any Hackney carriage license, but you're still them selling it through halfway tree, because those ones supposed to close from 2000. I have the proof right in front of me here. So even on the ground, them say them selling license just September here. People get license going through halfway tree, but that closed off from around 2 years ago.
But part of my disappointment also, is that the minister in charge seems to have no care of what is happening there. My information is that since he has taken over the Ministry of Transport, he has not even visited the Transport Authority or met with the Transport Authority. That is an indictment on the administration and the minister himself, right? It can't be that you're playing personal games with an institution as the Transport Authority. He himself tabled the Transport Authority Act. The Transport Authority Act has been passed, and he has not had a conversation with the Transport Authority. Yeah, so it's an indictment on all the show and the administration that is there now of the nonchalant way in how they have been treating the transport sector and the Transport Authority. Because let me tell you something. If you think they're so bad, check the JUTC. And everything that I tell you something, Wayne, you have to bring some blame to those in leadership, meaning the minister and the prime minister, because many a times they ignore the issues that are taking place at these institutions to the detriment of us, the taxpayers, and the Jamaican public. And that is what you're seeing now. If there's no policy coming from the head, then the bottom is just going to wag its tail. The dog is just going to wag its tail. Yes. So there's no leadership. Then what you're going to find is that they're doing as they feel like, as you're describing. And it's an indictment on the administration, an indictment on Ardlisha, and an indictment on the Prime Minister for not paying attention to transport.
This bad, because it cannot be a regulatory body.
Regulatory body, yeah.
And also an enforcer. I can't situate because we have police already.
Yes, yeah. And I'm firm on that.
This supposed to pass. This is stupid. And then and next thing what we need them to stop though.
So that would remind you like the OUR who is the regulator. And he's
Yes.
going out here to go pull down wire for the for JPS.
Yes.
You understand? It's a conflict there.
It's going to be a conflict. Right? And next thing though, in this kind of job, it's supposed to be you have people who serve are there for over 30 years, 20 years, career persons who know them job. And politicians taking and placing people who don't know this job and put them over these people that them have victimized the people, them and moving them up and firing them and doing them all kind of things. This something need to be done to this. Yes,
I'm going to tell you, when that is Transport Authority is only one such institution. There are many other institutions within the government. If you're talking about places like TPDCO, you're talking about Heart, Trust, NTA. There are many, too many. And I'm not saying this because it is a GLP administration in power, but when the PMP comes back to power, it is something that we have to do. We're not saying that we don't have persons that are supporters of each party that are not competent, but I have a problem when they are political enforcers. They are known political acts. When they don't have the competence to take on these jobs, and you give it to them, and they make a mock of these institutions. And then you make excuses like the Prime Minister have made in the past to keep these persons employed. And that is why my presentation in Parliament last week is how can we fix the system to work for the people. And that is what we are promising. My party is promising that we will fix the system to work for the people. Because what we're having now is taxation without proper representation. That's what you're having right now in Jamaica.
And this bad. And next thing again now, because this politically aligned managing director, I get things from inside that this man of a driver who get deported in 2011. I have the thing on him and everything. And this man running like him is the second in Transport Authority. All these things work because I know other people get deported for just overstay. But you still them can't get a job, a little normal job. But this man getting job driving BMW and doing all kind of things in a Transport Authority, coming from Transport Authority. It's so bad. You understand?
One of the things that the Auditor General would be looking at in her audit. See, and again I am happy to understand that she's there. Her department is there now, is looking at the employment practices. Integrity report will do the same, and that's why we have to give them a chance to do their job also. All right, because that report, as I say, I always say to people, if you pay your taxes, enough to worry about the taxman coming on you. Same way if you do illegal activities or you do something that is outside of the rules that you're governed by, it will come to book. And that is one of the reasons why we call on the Integrity Commission. Because when they dig in, them dig from top to bottom, not from the bottom to the top. Yeah? From the top to bottom, and all of that will come out. So we have to give them a chance to do their investigations, and hoping that they are fair in their investigations and bring those who should be brought to book. As chairman of the PAAC, these are some of the things that we want to get out. Because again, as I said, too long, Jamaican people is getting taxation without representation, and we have to change that.
This need to change. Tell me something. As a spokesman for transport and works, you cover the airport and everything also.
Yes.
Yeah, and next thing we want to ask you though, because one week now, right? I heard the Prime Minister in a paper making a statement about the $100 million gate at
drug fine at Ian Fleming's.
No, before Ian Fleming. In making up a statement said they must charge this person who was trying to pull the gate at the guards, at the
Oh, yes,
platform guard.
yes.
But I don't hear one word. 1 week now. Over 3.7 billion worth of cocaine found at Ian Fleming's airport. Not the Prime Minister, not the Deputy Prime Minister, who also is the National Security Minister, or the Commissioner. Everybody mouth silent.
Yeah, that is true.
And this
No,
bad.
no, normally, things like that, they would like to take the stripes for it. Eh?
Yes.
But I think that they are feeling somewhat guilty that those things, the things that we have been saying about the looseness of the airport, the amount of monies that have been spent at the airport, and we're not seeing the revenue coming back, is coming to haunt them right now. Unless it is that and I feel somewhat comforted that also there are some international assistance with the investigation, so that most of the things, I'm sure, will not be swept under the carpet. And I feel a little more reassured. Not that I'm saying that there are no good policemen and women in the JCF, but in an instant like this, I ask the question, how many more like those have passed through that airport? If it is that this one has been offloaded and was found at the airport, how many more?
Because just remind you of what you say back in the house in 2016. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this.
Welcome back to Primetime News. A special welcome again to the folks on onespotmedia.com.
Remind as well that you can download our One Spot Media app in the Google Play Store or the App Store. That's the number 1, followed by the word Spot and Media.
The opposition People's National Party, PNP, has poured cold water on the government's plan to expand the Ian Fleming International Airport in Boscobel St. Mary during this fiscal year.
In his contribution to the sectoral debate yesterday, Shadow spokesman on Transport Mikael Phillips says the move is ill-advised. More in this report.
Some call it a white elephant, as the air traffic at the Ian Fleming Airport in Boscobel St. Mary isn't at the level the authorities were hoping. The multi-million-dollar investment is scheduled for an upgrade this fiscal year, but the opposition spokesman on Transport, Mikael Phillips, is raising questions about the decision. First, he took parliamentarians on a trip down memory lane when the project was initially completed.
Still fresh in our memories, this Minister of Transport in 2010 spent $450 million, a spend of $150 million above the budgeted amount to do refurbishing work at the Ian Fleming International Airport. In 2010, the Minister told the country that the work being done would bring increased passenger load and open the northern side, eastern side of the island. We warned the Minister then that he was ill-advised, as the scope of work to be done would not achieve the outcome.
Then, pointing to figures, Mr. Phillips noted that the average operating loss at the Ian Fleming Airport is between $50 to $70 million annually. He further expressed concern that of the 2,700 planes which land at the facility annually, only 200 are foreign aircraft.
The government has now come back to the country, less than a year in office, to do more expansion work on the airport, to extend the existing runway by 700 feet. Some improvements to the terminal building. Mr. Speaker, even after this $2 billion spend, the largest plane that would be able to land at Ian Fleming International Airport will be a regional carrier, a 90-seater plane. We on this side believe that the minister is being ill-advised again.
Good.
Not that we are totally against the development of the airport, but not at this time.
The expansion project will cost the government $2 billion and is slated for completion in February 2018. Mr. Phillips is expressing doubt about the proposed completion date. He's also raising questions about whether the facility will be in a position to take care of its operational expenses after the upgrade, and whether there's an agreement with international carriers to bring flights to the airport. So if not expansion, then what?
Our recommendation is for the government to approach the hoteliers and other private investors and package the Ian Fleming International Airport for divestment.
Make I tell you something. You was 100% right on this, you know. You want them. And
I
then
did.
and before you say something about this, because I'm more than much billion, right? I'm going to play something again for you and just remind you what Carol Valls himself
Yeah,
said,
that's it.
right? All right, make us see if I can drop this. Because I think Darrell Valls, this is what Darrell Valls said right there. Watch this. All right, people, me just a reminder, this, this is a newspaper. This over, Observer, one of them. All right, so let me see what this I say. It's a no-brainer. Yes. Vars enlighten opposition and benefit from Ian Fleming development. So which one of the benefit? The benefit of shame the country because they might tell you say it's a no-brainer right there. So I'm gonna finish it, right? But the benefit we're talking about this kind of benefit, the embarrassment, the biggest drug bust in the history of Jamaica, $3.7 billion. This is our benefit.
Well, let me.
Yeah,
Go on. Go on. Go ahead.
Hold on a minute. Yes, man. Hold on. Okay. This is April 25th, 2017. You see the time? All right, let me see what I want here. So. I see 18, I see the word sponsors and all kind of things. All right, let me see what I want here. So now, who defend this? What I'm saying, so? Darrell Vard and choose the defend plans by the government to expand the Ian Fleming International Airport in St. Mary, telling the opposition to do. All right. So, I open the whole thing and I'm going to read it. I just remind you know. Okay, that's it. Okay. Okay, say defend it. And this, teacher, Ian Fleming's airport expansion, a game changer, Vaz. Oh, so this was a game changer. It's a game changer. So, this are the game changer. This are the game changer. What mash up? This are the this jerk way up, man. This was the game changer. These are the benefits.
Let me remind your listeners that when the proposed expansion to take the larger planes was coming about, because I think I remember clearly that under the past administration, Portia Simpson Miller, that they were trying to divest it to see how best they could divest the airport because of the cost that was money that was spent there, and knowing that it would not have seen a revenue. I was hoping that the hotel sector would have taken it on. The JLP won the election in 2016. I remember Darrell Vaz and the Prime Minister coming to the Parliament and making the assumption or selling to the country that once the airport was expanded and opened, that Sanders would have opened up a hotel out in Dragon Bay in Portland. No, we have not seen that. We have not seen any expansion in hotel rooms in that St. Mary belt as was promised. We have not seen any the volume of aircrafts landing there. We have only heard one report of one full flight yet so far coming from the Turks and Caicos. We have seen a delay of even American Airlines wanting to use it as an international airport because it's not adequate enough for them, meaning the equipments, the security, the custom area. So there are a lot of things that are still not lining up. And I will say this, not trying to throw cold water on what is there. As I have said to them before, when they wanted to go down to Vernon Field, as somebody who is in business, you start negotiating before you start the construction too. So at least you know what it is that you are working towards. But in this instance, they've spent. I have been hearing about contract signing for years from this administration. And up to now, they have not put something substantial or said that they have signed something substantial that can prevent the taxpayers, prevent the airports authority of taking money out of its pocket. Eh? So what we were saying is divest it, just like you have done the two major airports. Divest the Ian Fleming International Airport to one of the two companies that have both international airports in Montego Bay and Kingston, and let them run it as a going concern. I am sure that they will put in the adequate infrastructure to ensure that what was found, because as I said earlier, just can't imagine what has not been found that has passed through that airport. Yeah?
That is it.
It is costing the taxpayers now millions of dollars to maintain that airport as it is right now.
Because what I'm saying, right? If the government divests the two airports with everything in it, divest it, the big airport, and then turn around now and spend
I want to hold on to this. Yeah.
Something not add up. Because
Yeah.
you divest airport with terminals and with everything, with the right security and everything, right?
Yeah.
And then you have an airport with no security. No security. I was talking to some inside sources in the police force, big person. And them told me that you have this police, he's a superintendent, Dino, yeah, named Scott. Him told one police who was at that same airport in Baskerville, the only reason for him there is just a present, not to search. Because you have politicians go and come as them like, and other people go and come, the big boys. That's where I put them.
Remember, remember they spent millions of dollars to build a police post right there at the airport. You know? Millions of dollars. I think it was the Prime Minister or the Minister of National Security that went to officially open it. Millions of dollars, better than the police station I have in my own constituency. So
Yeah.
there are a lot of questions. We understand that the police is in control of the investigation. And I guess like any other investigation, we have to await the results. But we are hoping that we hear what is happening with it, and it's not a 9-day wonder. Because the airport authority has to even also explain how comes there was such a security breach.
That's a breach.
Yeah, man, that's a major security breach.
It's an embarrassment because when America and other places where send them plane, look at that. That means you could have just make any plane fly come in here and fly in them airspace, go pitch pan a little place and carry. How much more things leave from there? Them cannot tell me more things than leave from there. By the way, it's 1,100 pounds and it's over 10 duffel bag. That means a bag weigh more than 100 pounds. I don't think one man will lift up one bag with a man like that. That means it have friends who carry it. And by the way, who was working there at the time? As immigration and custom. Because you have to come through clear.
And which flight came in?
And which flight came in? You understand? Because we don't get none of this. Jamaica need to change what for world.
Yeah. This is one of the largest drug fines in Jamaica. And we have not heard, apart from that one statement made by the assistant commissioner, deputy commissioner, Bailey. That's the only statement we have heard. We have not heard any other update on it, and I think it is people need to hear what is happening, and I'm not just saying it just out of just loose talk, but something like that. I think the country needs to be abreast of at least an update outside of that original, because we have heard more about even just a little ganja fine in St. Elizabeth than what we have heard of this one.
And it's the biggest cocaine, biggest drug fine in history.
I've seen the commissioner of police keep press conference for less things than that.
Of course. Yes. I see him going to give some sun, but them and some fine 2 gun. No, we're fine.
Exactly.
The biggest ganja fine in the world. I'm at fucking bring out all the press with him.
Well, if it was ganja, it was 2 gun, but a cocaine we are talking about.
Cocaine.
Yes.
Cocaine. Him find 2 gun there. under some sun, and the whole press and the whole media out. But now I don't hear from the Prime Minister not one word. 1 week. Cause last week Friday. Now it's Thursday. 1 week. And not even a. I don't hear from the Deputy Prime Minister. I don't hear from the Police Commissioner himself. Why them so silent?
Yeah,
To the
yeah,
nation.
yeah.
And
But
it's a security breach.
one of the things that, and I commend your advocacy, you know, but we need to hear more. The people need to demand more, you know.
Yes.
Jamaican people need to demand more. I understand that they have given up on their the political directorate, but you can't give up. The same way you wouldn't give up on your family. Jamaica is our country. Right?
Yes.
Right? We can't give up. And they need to demand more from their government. They need to demand more to get better for their country. We can't give up on this. This is ours. We don't have nowhere else to go. We are trying to bring back our own independence, get our own head of state, remove the king now as our own head of state. If we want that so bad, why would we want to give up our own country? You understand? We need to demand more, man. Yeah, man. This is ours, man. We can't just give up. So, in our everyday lives, we have challenges. We're going through a challenge now. Time tough, time hard. Eh? When I questioned the Prime Minister yesterday in Parliament and said you can't just give one drain cleaning. Because I didn't want to blame him and say the flooding will take place at team fault, you know. Because you must get flooded out, man. And don't come and tell me say you're trying. You're resilient. We're too resilient. We're from slavery days, we're resilient.
But make I tell you something. I think the local government minister did come and say we're ready last week. Me have it, we're gonna play it a little later or something. Him say we're ready and you know everything alright. But not alright. The country right now stinks. The country stinks, garbage piling up, road breaking down. We get some dry river bed road and it's very serious because no drainage. I saw.
I hear that he will improve the drainage when he upgrade the roads. I'm in a community called Huntley right now, yeah, in my constituency. And me know him not upgrading these roads. So I can't wait on him to want to come here. I might not be alive when them want to upgrade these roads. So you're telling me that my people in Huntley go have to wait until then before we even get some little money for even clean the drains and put in proper drains? That's not acceptable.
Yes,
the amount of road network that we have in Jamaica, he will never, even in his own lifetime, right? And the only the suggestion I'm making to him, if you give $1 million at the beginning of June, end of June into July, for drain cleaning, which can't scratch the surface in my constituency, then another 6 weeks down the road, you need to do some more drain cleaning, because them same drains going to, and you know you're in the height of an active hurricane season. So when people flood out, man, the Prime Minister needs to take responsibility.
Of course, the box.
His fault.
The box stop at his feet. The box stop at his feet.
And then you're coming to tell me, boy, you're going to go patch 2 roads. I have roads now that have potholes from before the hurricane, the tropical storm pass. And then you're telling me, say, boy, you're not giving no additional money. Man, look here, man.
So,
the way out rural Jamaica is back of God.
Okay.
And the majority of Jamaican people live in rural Jamaica. And the way how this administration treat rural Jamaica, man, it's a shame.
That's
and then when they're ready now, they give one MP because I'm a GLP MP 50, 100 times more than them give another MP down the road. Even Labour Right MPs are complaining. So some get more than the others.
I see one man get 100 million. I see
Well, my Central Manchester I hear one MP stand up in a parliament yesterday. So she get $20 million per road in every division that she have in her constituency. 4 divisions, so that's $80 million. Right now, Northwest Manchester has not seen not even 1/10 of that. And it's not a lack of asking. Right? I have a road right now. We have a road right now. It's nearly $30 million for a patch it. and I'm getting $10 million for patching.
So what about the bridge that break down in somewhere in Trelawney? When me hear
right on the border of Manchester and Trelawney.
yes.
Well, the Prime Minister came to Parliament yesterday, and I am taking him at his word, because I'm happy it's the first time that he's speaking on it. He said that the drawing, as we know, has been completed. Costing is somewhat completed now, and they're going to procurement. And I am holding him on that. And I don't want a procurement that will take 2 years. Because I looking from him, says so now, me I look for the next 4 weeks to see it coming in the papers for procurement to be published, Okay. You understand? For the tender to be published. But I'm not stopping my advocacy on it. Because, and let me tell you, there are 29 other bridges like that in Jamaica, like the Troy Bridge. So we are not alone. So my advocacy, yes, it's for my constituents and those, because I've not heard much from the MP that is on the other side of the bridge, who is the Speaker of the House. But I am sure when the bridge comes, she's going to be there to cut ribbon and talk about her grand work that she has done. And I have no problem, because it is not for me. It's not for her. Because if somebody dies trying to cross that bridge, it's not the Prime Minister that's going to get blamed. It is me, not even the MP over in South Trelawney. Right? It is me, because it is my children that has been crossing the bridge, been crossing that river. It is my people. I have a young lady who works in Christiana, who has to leave her family house, which is about a mile from the bridge, to go rent a house now in Troy, just to be able to get to work, so she don't risk crossing the river. No, man, it's a shame. And be my bridge or others, we ought not to treat the people like that. Yes. That's why I say it is taxation without representation.
That's true. And it's time for people like me and others to stand up and demand a change.
No, and I tell you something.
Demand a change.
We have to be fair now. Yes. If it is my party in government and we treat the people like that, man, then we ought to be brought over the coal, man.
Of course.
But we have to try our best for the people. Yes. We have to try our best. But I can guarantee that we would not treat them the same way that this administration is treating them.
And next thing I ask, why the heavy-handed, tactical poor people, they make so much people come in, because you have Minister of Works, right?
Yeah.
Minister of Works. So why so much foreigners come in and getting jobs over our people? Why would because what people them always there the job, you cannot do it in any, not even Cayman. Not even Cayman.
Yeah. Well, I spoke in a sectoral debate earlier this year, and I gave some numbers. 80% of the grade 1 contracts is given to one company.
Wow.
And that's a Chinese company. Right?
Wow.
80%. So what in turn happens is that you have our grade 1 contractors becoming subcontractors. Let me just remind your listeners and those who are online that it's not that we have bad contractors in Jamaica. We have great engineers. We have good contractors. But they can only build what they are contracted to build. So here's the difference now, where the table is not even. Yes. China does the design, and he does his estimate, and he says to the government of Jamaica, this is my design, this is my estimate, pay me what it is that I said that my estimate is. In turn, for a local contractor, the design is done by the National Works Agency. They do their own BQ, and they say, tender for this job because this is the design that I want. But that doesn't mean that it is of the greatest standard. So where the Chinaman might put in his design, saying putting 6 inches of asphaltic concrete, NWA might say, I want 2 inches, but 6 inches giving you the required amount that is needed. So if the local contractor put on 2,
Yes.
And within 2 years, it start lick out a pothole. Eh?
But what happened with Chinese too? These people building dry river bed because they're putting in roads, but no drainage. So
Look
now
here.
the river come down.
I am not convinced that they are giving the best job.
Then they are not. They are not.
I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. Right? But we even though we said that about them, they have been the Chinese and the Chinese government and the Chinese companies. When we needed the resources, they were there to come to our aid as a country. But the time has come now that we have learned a lot from them, our own workforce, that we now give these works that are coming from the budget of the government of Jamaica, that we share it evenly, and we give our Jamaican contractors the same benefits as we are giving foreign companies. You can't be giving a foreign company exemption on taxes, exemption on duty concessions, and then our own contractors have to pay the taxes and pay the duty. Cannot come in and cannot come in competitive to the jobs that are being tendered. You need to level the playing field.
Yes. No, but it is gone bad because we have so much people need job. All them doing right now is a thing named job fear. And when the people them come out like in tens of thousands that I see around the country, them do photo upping, like them putting out jobs for people. But in fairness, no job, no there. People have to try to go overseas to work.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's bad. This bad. It's really bad.
And one of the things that I am not accepting to, because like even those in the area of St. Thomas, that you see them demonstrating about the road conditions. In Portland, same thing. We were talking about it when it was Hagley Park and Constant Spring Road. You have traveled, I have traveled. And I know that when you travel and you see road construction going, if it is that there's limited space, there's still a driving corridor for the traveling public.
You have to.
While work is taking place.
Of course.
Right?
You have to,
and it's an indictment on the National Works Agency because they are the owners of the contract. They employ the China Harbor and the contractors, even the local contractors, to do these works. They own it on behalf of the taxpayers of the country because it is our money that they are spending. Be it is a loan, because we have to pay back the loan, so it's our money.
It's our money.
Right?
So
and they have allowed these contractors to deal with the public with impunity. It's a shame on the National Works Agency and the Prime Minister, who is the minister in charge of works, that they treat the traveling public the way that they are. No, man, it's a shame, man. And they need to be held accountable for it.
I need to talk about in the house. They're mashing up people vehicle, then turn around, send out police and giving you a ticket. Charging you. That, remember, I drive and I drop down a patrol, I can't sue the government. But instead of me sue the government turn around and make police and give me a ticket and I take on my vehicle. Oh, it's wrong. I cannot fix my vehicle. And then I pay them. It's wrong.
There was a time in Jamaica when the citizens had let their voices be heard. We have gone quiet. And it might sound like a contradiction because I'm in the politics and I'm a member of parliament and I'm a part of a political organization. But the people have to demand more, man.
Yes.
They have to demand more, man. That's where the pressure comes. When I talk and say something, the Prime Minister can rubbish me and say it's politics. But when the people them talk, them have to listen.
Yes.
You understand? And then when them ready, them say it is politically motivated. When it's the people them just had enough, man.
That is it. Like myself. We have enough of the foolishness. We have enough of the lies. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you right here now, Mikael. The Prime Minister of Jamaica, right? Mikael, the Prime Minister of Jamaica is the worst Prime Minister Jamaica ever seen in the history of the world. And also the liest man I ever buck in the history, in a human race. I don't read about, I'm serious. Anyone tell lie upon him grandmother and come back and tell lie upon him mother and father when born
Well,
and everything and flip-flopping. That is not a good thing. You understand? No, that is true. You understand?
my view is, you see, is
Yes.
that I am a few months older than he is.
Yes.
So we are 50 together, same age.
Yes.
And we are post-independence children,
Yes.
now adults.
Yes.
I would say that I expected better from my friend.
Yes.
Our children grew up together, went to the same primary prep school, same high schools. I mean, I'm a product of a primary school. He's product of primary school. Yeah? He went to university. I went straight into business. Right? But you know, I expect, like, even when we're talking about Jamaica becoming a republic, he has the greatest opportunity compared to the other prime ministers before him to bring Jamaica to that point, our own identity as an island of African descent. He has the greatest opportunity to have consensus across the board, dealing with education, dealing with crime, dealing with infrastructure. But it is only talk, and the action has not been, in it, behind it, and that's my disappointment.
And next thing, because I'm afraid, soon, like 4 minutes.
Yes, and I am still in my constituency, and I'm borrowing one of my school rooms to be able to do this.
4 minutes. And next thing, though, the big white elephant up a Woodven Road. I get something from some people yesterday. National Housing Trust, some people don't want it because if them have the money, then me tell them it's going to be a white elephant. Because we do this kind of work, construction and everything. And I see 2 bathroom in 2 bedroom. You go through 2 bedroom, right? And selling this unit for 37 million. Don't make sense. If you have 40 million, why you buy a thing like that? I call it an app style. I talk straight. That don't make no sense. It's a white elephant. It's not going to sell.
Just remember that majority of those who are contributors to the NHT cannot get a benefit from the NHT. And that's where we need to fix the problem. The Prime Minister, in his own wisdom, thought that appealing to the upmarket will get him some support. The upmarket there's more than enough units in the private sector to supply that upmarket. It was a wrong decision. They need to go back to the table. They need to now find a way to provide housing for those at the bottom of the income scale, which are the majority of those who are contributors to the NHT. When the NHT was conceptualized, it was not for the upmarket. It was for those at the bottom of the income scale. And we are still not doing justice to the NHT. And so that is where I would love to see. And maybe it might not happen under this administration, but we are thinking about it, how it is that we can create those housing stocks. That the solution of lowering the interest rate is not. We have done that over decades. You could have bring it to 0%. Once they are not eligible because of the income scale, they still can't. That's why I would say do the rent to own. That's why I would say look at informal communities and put in those the infrastructure in them and give them many NHT owners living in informal communities.
Because something. So my dad, pass off, mom, rest in peace, my grandmother, me, myself, brother, sister, all of us we contribute to the NHT. I never get back no money. So NHT rich, it have money. This is the government that put them pass in it. Okay.
Yeah.
So why not these people who cannot afford some of these money, because some them have them grandkids and great grandkids alive still. Why we don't build up something like what we have projects and make these people have this place to live? Make we clean up Jamaica. Why we don't do that?
Operation Pride was a success. You don't have to name it Operation Pride. Eh?
Yes.
You have
phone ringing.
Yes, it is. You have over 1 million Jamaicans living in informal communities.
Yes.
What? Let's start there.
I have to run now. One love.
All right, one love, yeah?
Yeah, man. Cool.
Take care. Cool. Yeah, man, that's yeah. That was the opposition spokesperson and works, yeah, and transport and works, Mikael Phillips, yeah. No, you know them are going bad, and you know we have to hold the government accountable. Yeah, we have to hold the government accountable. We have to try call them out. We have to call them out, and we the people them have to hold them accountable too. No more foolishness. What go on, my brother? Yeah, my brother, what's up?
What's going on, brother?
I'm here, man. Yeah, man. Just to talk to the opposition, the spokesperson for works and
yeah, I heard some of it.
Okay, yeah, man.
You have some brilliant ideas. I mean, and the work that you're doing. I'm telling you, my friend, I've always heard of the corruption, right?
Yes.
I've always heard Jamaica corrupt, this government are the worst. But when you present this and I look at it, you can see it, you can smell it, you can taste it. This is the worst I've ever seen Jamaica. The worst.
Yes, man.
It's very upsetting. It's very upsetting. And I'm telling you, the work that you're doing, I believe this is you're one of the most important Jamaicans alive right now. Believe you me.
True. Yes, man.
For what you're doing. This is unprecedented what you're doing in Jamaica. And the people are seeing it.
Of course.
A man offer you and tell you he's giving you an offer of $600,000 on something that's worth 80,000 Jamaican dollars. That they claim they're not giving out anymore. And I can't understand why aren't people behind bars right now? He came out with a statement when you initially came with the broadcast, right?
Yes.
And said they're going to look into stuff. But the first thing they need to do is to find out who got reprimanded. And everyone in the bus, we want to know if they were reprimanded. Where are the letters of reprimand?
No one. Then come out and laugh.
Right?
Yes.
And then apparently he had a meeting, and instead of addressing the issue, he's picking on you. He's calling your name.
He wrong name him call. You know what me start with the wrong name him call. Yes, man. Yeah,
right?
man.
So I'm saying, if I was investigating this, the first thing I would want to see, I want to see the time, date of the letters that he reprimanded those people or disciplined them.
No, them leave the meeting laughing, you know.
Then he should lose his job. He should resign immediately.
No, you see, what we are calling the fraud squad, and I call them in because them have to investigate him. Them have to investigate in bank account, brother. In bank account. So even when the contractor general investigate in bank account. And them also them a bill and everything.
They should make a raid on his home.
Yes.
Search everything.
Yes, man. For the little time and the wealth when get up because your pay not give you that. I mean, I know how you hide it right now. Yeah. Investigating bank account.
They need a forensic audit on this guy. A forensic audit on most of them.
You see what I see, my brother? I see the Prime Minister came out swinging about the guy who opened the gate, who them to get prosecuted at Flatbridge. The gate was value 100 million. You know the two little iron thing with them well up? And put two padlock on it, 100 million. Them said, boy, 100 million. And them forget prosecuted and them put the whole of the citizens at risk. And I know the Prime Minister don't say one thing about the biggest drug fine at Aaron Fleming's airport. Him, now the commissioner, now the National Security Minister, which are the Deputy Prime Minister. None of them don't say nothing. But you come out and tell about a van that named Detraction.
Any comments about the Transport Authority criminalities either. Nothing from him.
Nothing. You understand? Nothing.
So, silent mean consent. You
know? Of course. Of course. So you see, we have to hold them accountable, you know, brother. We're not playing with them. You understand? We, the people, have to hold them accountable. Yeah, man. We're not playing with them.
I would not advise even a friend of Putin to invest in Jamaica under this government.
True.
It's bad. They honor corruption. That's what I noticed with this government. They honor corruption. I heard a guy the other day said that who should get hung and them teeth kin and the whole thing. And I haven't heard that man come out and say anything at all about this.
No, about the drugs. But hear this again. No, remember Basketball fall in him the MP for there. I'm the MP for right there, so to brother.
What the hell you telling me?
You just got call the man, I'm the MP. And him silent too. Nobody, you should have, him not come and say them drugs people there. We come to this is the biggest breach, airport breach in the history of the Caribbean. Yeah. With them big drugs, and it cannot be the first one. And him are the MP and now, no, we not here say nobody forget hang no till MP thing. Kin. And put up gallows. You see? Sometimes you dig hole, you have to dig two, you have to dig one for yourself, a deep one to, you know. Have the dirt on the side to bury yourself. You understand? Me not hear no man. Me not hear none of them run out.
The hanging is not for his friends. The hanging is not for his friends, man. It's for poor ghetto youth and them something like that.
Them thing belongs to the big boys. Politicians use it enough. You understand? Because me repeat it.
You know, when them ghetto youth start unite, you know, enough of them have to run with, you know, a lot of them.
Okay. So you see, we have to come and tell them the truth, you know.
And they're getting it, you know. Believe me, they're getting it.
Of course. Because we have to make a difference, you know. Because hear this now. Every single Jamaican or Jamaican background, we have to start, you know, we have things with all government accountable. You see, after the party thing done and you form a government, all government accountable. But then you know, and I like one time them could have muscle me. Can me remember we have fight the battle from back in the 90s, you know. When they see them kill my brother there and go, me have fight the battle, we get all police. You remember a long time I tell you about criminal police. No, you see police come attack on themselves. Because of course criminal in there. And the army and no politician are criminal too. You understand? Me the one who tell us a doctor overcharge people, them are criminal too. You have enough criminal among us. The big boys never go to prison yet. In a Jamaica. But them can't take the flight. Them make, oh listen, that airport, I run over 2,800 flights per year. And Jamaica can lose more than much 100 millions taxpayers' money. Who to benefit? Me one MP said that benefit us, but I don't we to benefit. He said that benefit, we are see the benefit. Me see it now. Me see it. You understand? Me see it. Yeah. And I know we are waiting on the Prime Minister himself. Alright. This, me one of them said coming like the drugs are fine, coming like the 9/11. Right? So if we coming like the 9/11, that means the Prime Minister that come out, come chat. Not even one word. You want to go look for the... Brother?
Remember when the plane land at the beach there, all of them run out, right?
Yes. All right.
That's enough for them thing, you know. I know for them something that, you know, so them can run out.
No, but them not going to say nothing no night.
Right. But this one, very quiet. I notice it's very quiet.
And them not say nothing. And then I'm sure we have both man, both padlock off a gate, and them forget prosecuted. In a house, you can't in any house can go say that. But you still nothing from basketball. Hey, call up the MP, more and more. Call up, which MP side of the man there too? Oh, in a Portland. West Portland, because West Portland is nearer than East Portland. Oh, at Darrell. Okay. Call up Darrell too. And call up man to kill them too. Oh, no man, this have to run better than this. Boom, bam, bam. Talk to some police. Yeah, who the right not escape that's all. Eh? Yeah, man. And everybody silent. Eh? Everybody silent. And I try to sweep something that me I tell the feds, don't let it go. Me done talk.
No man. Them have
Never
them eyes
run.
locked on already. Believe you me.
Yes.
Them have them eyes locked on already.
Yes. Me I go run in a brother.
Some man take some vacation and them no return to Jamaica 40 years after them no return, you know. They're at prison.
That is it.
It's going to happen.
It named distraction, people. And Transport Authority can regulate and be them own enforcer. That's impossible. You give them police powers and all kind of things. That's why the place are run so. If you regulate the transport sector, you can't have them do this. It's not supposed to be. Portland now, nice green Portland when my father be returned Portland. The name change. Them change the name. Eh? St. Mary or Court Mary now. Eh?
This
the biggest Caesar
Court.
Court.
They don't have people under investigation. I don't believe that a thorough investigation has not started to just finish off what is obviously criminalities, because you can't publish that there is no license being given.
Yes.
But you broadcast and show that man get license on this day and this day and that day. How do you come out of that? How do you conquer that?
Yes, that me talk about. It's terrible, man.
Biggest and the worst corrupted prime minister Jamaica has ever seen.
What happened to the ladies? We're not at it. No, it's of ad.
Undisputed liar, man.
Undisputed. Where else? King of lies, man. New talk shows,
lion
man.
Champion of the world.
Yeah, man.
Heavyweight lion champion.
Yeah, man. You understand? This can't work no more, man. We have to keep it real. Keep it real and honest.
Boy,
and we have to stand up.
I always hear about it.
Yes.
But this is the closest I've seen it. Where you can't dispute. You can't dispute facts, you know.
No. No, but from a man come out and tell the brother, oh, me come tell like for my granny. I'm a great granny, and then come and then in a next for them, I go tell like for my mother and my father. One of them can, the two of them can be true. Cause one room that me you put on the next one, you put on a single parent you grew up by single. What single mean?
One, sir, one.
So if you say you grow up single, just say great grandmother, not even your granny, you know, your great grandmother. And use chimney and 60 pitney in a class. You see much line I want 60 pitney. Me no remember which school have 60 pitney in them class and them things, especially like some kids.
Never seen that. Never seen that in Jamaica. No time.
See?
If it's there, it's probably no when I'm out, but not.
No, it will not, no. Not teacher, not teacher. You understand? So, me just keep it real. Because that's paid, you know. You understand? Me no business.
Yeah, man, I was surprised when he said the 60 student. I was very surprised.
And then him come back and him go up now with him mother and him sister and him father and brother and who are farmer. But look how you treat farmers. They say a minefield, but you go serve the big boys. And you want to lock up people, go for people. Go for the one them to get prosecuted. Police have a police job. You see what them point out to me? The little man who pull off a little piece of iron with them say 100 million. And the 100 million me look on, you know. The 100 million me look on and all my endanger people life. You have an airport. It could have, let me tell you something with America. Because America think how me think like how the Americans them think and international people think. If you have an airport so loose, that means a man could have full of plane with all kind of TNT and whatever and send it to America and go drop it. You understand what I say, brother? And I must drugs him a carry night. Him could have carried something destructive to destroy the people in the country. Something you know just put Jamaica on a terrorist list now. This is how the government slack. You never think about it.
Let me tell you something. What you broadcast
about
the Transport Authority, if that happened in Canada or US or England or any one of those countries, people would have already been subpoenaed and locked up and, under questioning or something. Jamaica is a cakewalk.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a cakewalk. It's okay. We're going to solve it. We're going to see what's happening. We're seeing what's happening. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, man.
I mean, if these people in the van at the time were not disciplined for how they treated that Jamaican citizen, then I don't want to hear anything else.
Yeah.
Nothing else matters. Nothing else matters if they did not discipline them. And if your broadcast is correct, that he just laughed with them and,
of course,
and basically, then something is wrong. I mean, that is the way we expect to treat our citizens.
People come down and you have other people that get the fever stay. Man do things and when you look, man I drive BMW with them money can't, them pay can't give them. Man I live now spending pay. Man I fight against some people. When you look, me have a list of people where they move. Victimization at Transport Authority. Man I like keep a party. Eh? When I lockdown time and them think that keep party and break as them make this and them make that.
Yeah, man.
Eh?
And that
but obviously show it
too.
Eh?
Because I see Andrew have people with big truck park up and a lot of people.
Okay.
But when team members them do it, something it's a double standard.
That's why we now run put them. Anyway, brother, I run in because I see the time I run.
Yeah, man. Take care.
Later,
Keep
brother.
up a good job, sir.
Yes, sir, brother. Bless.
All right.
Yeah, man. Brother, that we have to keep it up. We have to keep up a good job. And remember, lonesome, man in the wilderness. Keep it real. Want a better Jamaica, we have to stand up for them, you know. We have to stand up for brother and sister them, you know. Because you see, them just want to keep them in the dark and chat with them and chat. No, we have to keep them honest. We have to come back, come talk about the man where he shoot him son, because when you talk, Mr. Man, you really have to face some charges, because right away I'll be a breach, a murder charge. And by the way, if you want to go for liar, that means you know what you do. So make sure you don't want to go for a liar. You know what you do, yeah? Yeah, man. The one that may I tell you, I'm going to point out and show you. Why dissect it? I want to see the police will get charged yesterday. Remember me camp on my thing, you know. I remind you know. The one from Mobile. We go to go fire shot off for the. You remember the man when go fire shot off for the. And the man say, if them don't warn him, see the man shoot off for the man car. Man in Maroon Town. The one there. The same one. Him there's somewhere in my phone. Let me show you. I him them just. I'm at a fact. See me? You know see me? See me? I don't want them just charge, you know. See me? Remember him, right? See me? Remember me do the thing with him, no, don't it? Me show him, you know, see me? Me do around two things with him, man. When I trouble the shop man and threaten the shop man and them thing there. See me? See me good there? I even see them charge, man, I talk about mediation and $300,000 bill. Him see a man. So, him them charge, him Andre Johnson. Him man only you me talk about, man, and them go. I him them charge, man. You see police get charged down there. I say him fire shot and what have you. Him fire shot off for the shop man. After the shop man, when him does I get charged. DPP say for charging. They might go about the thing, but remember, I 2 times you see me carry man, I show you one way I do and when I fire him shot and I do him thing. And a police this. Me don't tell him to get charged when him get charged. So when you see the charge, him get charged, you know. So we keep it really so, you know. I remember we have police down the way, lose them job to get charged, man. Me know say them 8 lonesome, you know, but the feelings neutral. But we're going to play the Merciless to take me out, eh? Yeah, man. Remember, you know, the 80s, 90s. Don't forget that the 80s, 90s. One thing, the 80s, 90s, Louis culture live in living colors. So I'm going to start play the thing with that. Remember, you know, I'll be a support. You see it? Yeah, man. Louis culture live, yeah? Yeah, man. So the thing, they're going to start turn up 80s, 90s. That's in Canada. Remember, yeah? 80s, 90s. You know, so I make sure that. So live show. You understand? So, yeah, man. Before me knock it out, let me just play the Merciless here because, you know, we have to knock it out and finish with that tune here because, you know, the feeling's neutral. We're not business with them say about lonesome, you know. Lonesome good. You understand? All right, so, let me play the Merciless here. Get used to that one here, yeah? I'll give them that one here very soon because we have some tune that we need some tune, man. But the thing go and blow off. But I have to go another one here, yeah? I'm Merciless here. Feelings neutral. Listen to the word right here. No stress. No stress, yeah? Listen.
Now, from them, Any girl me no like me no. Shot to them and them. Show me no red. Me no the road that be in war red. Me no king say. Never mash up and can't dead. Well, all that. Clarendon from Clarendon. Them don't like me, the feelings neutral. Me change you, them start talking a neutral. Wonder how come every day me have a new gal. Yeah, me world and the field, the business get crucial. Foreign and local, urban and rural. Me ready to show the world how me lyrically brutal. Them do a lot of single and not sell plural. The world wants to hear some style way unusual. No stress me, finesse me, happiness me, progress me, success of me, possess me, style me, manifest me. Hated room and just the platinum palm me chest, me bank accounting just like them up me and arrest them less. He suggested me and make them depressed. And the business when better take a long recess. The request only the best earth to gain access. To steal me a machine with lyrical fortress. Me work hard for the little thing where me accomplish. Why them want to take the cake out of my dish? Everybody me have the whole world hooked like fish. Then our reputation them can't tarnish. Me rock state so me wages them can't garnish. Y'all a map me west skin pretty like a varnish. You then think them a go get me out them better varnish. You go on me pants them like Dan and Trish. No stress me, finesse me, happiness me, progress me, success on me, possess me, style me, manifest me. Yet they do my just the clapping up on me chest, me back accounting chest like them up here, I arrest them at the less. Me suggest me, I make them depressed. And the business them better take a long recess. Me request only the best girls to get access. Who steal me, I shield me lyrical fortress. So like from the 876 year up, the whole crew gets through by me lyrical sword. I'm still got me brain reach overdrive mode. Me tick like a time bomb ready to explode. We run them out of gas and them particle road. Me first chapter, after them final episode. Feel fast, how many and both can't afford to make some vital lyrics and load. No stress, me finesse, me happiness, me progress, me success, or me possess, me style, me manifest. Yes, they do my just the clapping up on me chest. I can't count me chest like them up here, I arrest them at the less. Me suggest it, me I make them depressed. And the meeting them better take a long recess. Me request only the best girl to gain access. Who feel me a machine, me lyrical fortress. No stress, me finesse, me happiness, me progress. Me success on me possess, me style, me manifest. Yeah, they do my just the platinum up on me chest. Bank accounting chest like them up here, I arrest them at the less. Me suggest it, me I make them depressed. And the business them better take a long recess. Me request only the best girl to gain access. Who feel me a machine, me lyrical fortress.
You know, I have to play that tune before me sign out, because, you know, who don't like me, the feelings neutral. I like them, man. Everything good, man. You see me, I say? But what to do, what we are do. All the man is, keep them loans, so I say, the man of the wilderness, me there, yeah? Loans of me, I'm out. Bless up. Bless. Good.